Hello, it's Becky from Keats Kitchen, and today I'm going to show you how to make my Grandma Keats' delicious meatloaf. I'm just going to go over all the ingredients real quick and then we'll get cooking. So you're going to start out with 1.5 pounds of lean hamburger, a package out of here, this Lipton Onion Soup, an egg, and 2 slices of bread. I have some bread that's getting down to the end there, so I'm going to use that. A little bit of milk and ketchup. You see the milk? There we go, milk. Ketchup, pepper, salt, Italian seasoning, thyme, and rosemary. And you might want to get a pair of cooking gloves just to wear while you're mashing the meat together. I love these gloves. I get them on Amazon, and I can put the link in the comments for you. And a nice big bowl. So I'll come back and we will get it all assembled. Okay, ready to rock and roll. So what I'm going to do first, I have the 2 slices of bread in a bowl, and the milk I showed you earlier, I measured out 1/2 cup. So I'm just gonna take the milk, pour it over the bread, and then set that aside and let it soak for a bit. Have some gloves on. And here is 1.5 pounds of lean ground beef. That in there. Okay, I'm going to start off with a fork, but then I'm going to eventually use my hands to blend this all together. So to this, I'm going to add 1/2 cup of ketchup. And then the egg I showed you, 1 egg, I beat it up in a bowl so it's scrambled. Put that in there. Give that a quick stir. Okay, and then it's not quite all blended, but it'll get there. So to this mixture, I am going to add 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Can't find my half, so I'm going to do 1/4 twice. There we go. And then 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Got somewhat mixed up just a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of thyme. And then I have some rosemary. And, excuse me, 1/8 teaspoon of rosemary. That's all you need. It's a very strong seasoning. Come on, there we go. And then I have some Italian seasoning and like barely 1/8 teaspoon. That's looking good. And then I have my Lipton Onion Soup packet. I'm going to dump all of that in there. So the soup has most of the flavoring and the seasonings in it that you need, and the onions. Now my bread is soaking. Looks like it's still about there. So just mixing all this together, really easy recipe. And now what I'm going to do is take the bread that's been soaking in the milk and dump that in. Blend this all together. Actually, I don't think I'll be needing my gloves. I've used them in the past, but that's okay. It's good to have them on. So just mix the bread real well. Okay, I'm gonna continue to mix that for just a minute, and then I'll come back and I will put it in the baking dish. I'm ready to put the meatloaf in the dish. My dish here is about 11 by 9. And a lot of people use like a regular bread loaf size to cook meatloaf in, but I do it a little bit different. So I'm going to use this size and spray it good with cooking spray. And I'm just going to dump this meat mixture in. Spread it out real good. And oh, Gilligan. He's a big part of my bloopers. The dog. I don't know. What are you doing, Gilligan? Gilligan is a pug. He's a very charismatic dog, but he's my little buddy. He is a great little pet. Okay, so I've got this all spread out in the pan. I'm not going to bake it just yet. I'm going to cover it and put it in the fridge. But when it comes time, because it's still kind of early in the afternoon and it's too early to put it in and eat, so I'm going to cover it and put it in the fridge for a couple hours. But when it's time, I'm going to set the oven to 350 and bake it for about 1 hour. So just going to run a few errands, do my thing, and come back and cook the meatloaf. Oh, it's dinner time. So I have preheated the oven to 350, and I'm going to put this pan of meatloaf in for about 1 hour. And while that's baking, I'm going to show you the sides that I'm going to do with the meatloaf. So anyway, in the oven it goes. So for a side dish, I'm going to do mashed potatoes and gravy and broccoli. So anyway, that's kind of the common thing to have as a side dish, the mashed potatoes and gravy. So I'm just going to peel up about 3 potatoes, cut them up, and boil them. And for the gravy, hold on. For the gravy, I just bought packets at the store. The gravy you can get nowadays is really, really good. So I'll probably mix up about 3 of these packets for the gravy. So anyway, yeah, I'm just peeling up some potatoes, and then I'll chop up some broccoli, and it will accompany the meatloaf very, very well. Okay, the potatoes are peeled, so I'm just gonna go ahead and slice them up, put them in a pot here, and cover them with water, and sprinkle some salt in. for my mashed potatoes. Here he goes again. It's going to be a good dinner tonight for my family. I have some broccoli here that I'm going to cut up for a second side dish to the meatloaf. Just got some broccoli crowns, and I am going to put them in this pan right here. And look at this little steamer. This is old. This used to be my grandma's, this steamer. I don't even know if a lot of people use these type of steamers anymore, this little, whatever it's called. But anyway, I'm gonna fill it with a little water and then steam it all up real good. Finish cutting up my broccoli. Anyway, this is dinner tonight, and I know it's not part of the recipe, but it's always good to have some ideas for dinner. So anyway, broccoli's good for you.